On this week's Waypoint, changes to Soraka, kha'zix, LeBlanc, and Nidalee are in the works, controversy with an undocumented Pantheon change, and the start of the LCS, both real and fantasy. What's up guys, and welcome to Waypoint, your weekly League of Legends recap for May 21st, 2014. I'm your host, Lindsay Geektron. First up this week, a look forward at the gameplay changes coming in patch 4.8. We're expecting a fairly light update here with bigger, longer-term changes coming in 4.9. However, we can't expect a fair number of changes that modernize champions. This means low-impact, high-value, quality-of-life changes that don't really mess with balance. The rest of the changes may be more significant, but some are closer to coming live than others, which pretty much means it might miss 4.8 depending on how many weekends the balance team feels like working. Soraka, as we've talked about in the past, is a bit of a pain at the moment. She's able to constantly push waves while sustaining and being safe and not building very much damage. She then transitions into the most powerful late game healer in the game with global power. Riot may take some of the damage out of her lane pushing star call ability and increase its utility to address this. In theory, that keeps her strong as a support but hits her mid lane strength somewhat. As we see with Lulu though, it's not easy to keep the supports out of the mid lane. Riot are still working hard on increasing Skarner's stickiness while reducing the snowball factor of his current passive. The Scorpion is a high priority but likely won't see changes in 4.8. Skarner's a very unique champion both in terms of gameplay and play style. It's one thing to have an initiator, but an initiator that brings a target back to your team? That's pretty cool. Skarner 2014, we believe. kha'zix has taken over the jungle in the last few months, and as Riot mentioned, the damage reduction on his ultimate is a big part of that. With both stealth and durability, it makes an otherwise squishy assassin extremely hard to kill. There's no word on what kind of changes kha'zix will see yet, but if you had to read the writing on the wall, that's probably where they'll hit him with the nerf bat. It's safe to say he's a hard champion to balance though. Speaking of hard champions to balance, it's fair to say that Riot are struggling with LeBlanc. With high burst, high mobility, and little counterplay, she's an exceptionally strong champion. She's also a fun champion though, with her strengths being part of her core identity. Right now, Riot don't know how they're going to balance her. We don't want to say just nerf her numbers into the ground so no one plays her, but Riot, please, just nerf her numbers into the ground so no one plays her. Kidding. Mostly. Nidalee is the complete opposite of LeBlanc. She's a long-range, high-sustain champion that excels in poke comps, but they share a similar problem, a lack of counterplay. You dodge spears until you can't, and then the Nidalee team starts the fight with a health advantage, or they take an objective. It's not super fun. Riot are looking to fix her long-range spear problem and emphasize more of her hunting theme. The worry here is Gragas was hit with a range damage nerf, and now no one's playing him. We'll have to wait and see. On the AD carry front, Twitch and Lucian are the top dogs at the moment. Twitch is an endgame hyper carry, a mid-game assassin, and a lane bully, while Lucian is just a safe, strong pick that does generally well in all areas against all matchups. Riot are keeping an eye on both champions, but are more confident in Lucian definitely needing changes to better define his strengths and weaknesses. Honestly though, there hasn't been a time when there weren't 2 or 3 top picks in the AD carry role. It's the circle of life, I guess? In the jungle, Riot have been swinging back and forth on Feral Flare, but its current incarnation is the closest to their core philosophy on the item. They do want to further incentivize Feral Flare users to occasionally stop farming and put pressure on lanes. Looking at the jungle in general, it's still up in the air right now what changes are going to happen, but honestly, it feels like we've seen the same pattern over and over. Junglers start carrying, junglers get nerfed, junglers start carrying. Hopefully we can get to a point where we don't need a complete overhaul of the jungle every season. Controversy in Sparta this week for Pantheon. An undocumented change was included in patch 4.7 that seriously affects the viability of Pantheon. To put it simply, you all know those times when you thought you'd run past the range of Pantheon's ult only for him to jump on you as he was coming down? Yeah, that won't happen anymore. Presented as a bug fix, which is understandable, the timing and lack of documentation is just unfortunate. Why? Because Riot released a new Pantheon skin before revealing this. Ouch. Not gonna lie, this looks bad. Bug fix or no, it's a big nerf to Pantheon. It's already fairly easy to escape that circle unless you're slowed or you really just derp hard and run into it. Now if the champion stays as is, we'll see quite a bit less of the Spartan warrior. However, it's been made clear that if Pantheon needs it, Riot will make necessary changes in 4.9 to smooth out his gameplay. Riot have agreed that this looks bad. They've admitted that they screwed up on not documenting the change, but at the end of the day, put down the pitchforks, guys. The animation and gameplay did look wonky and mistakes happen. It's understandable being annoyed about not being able to use your skin for a few months if you find him unplayable, but seriously doubtful this was done on purpose. Taking my fangirl hat off now. In better news, Fantasy LCS has entered beta. This is so cool, guys. For the upcoming summer split, which has actually probably already started in Europe by the time you're watching this, we'll be able to pick our Fantasy LCS teams. Make a team with your friends, pick your players, pick your favorite team, and compete. There'll be a real-time draft phase with the friends in the league, so you can't just grab all the people you think are superstars either. Players will be scored on kills, death, assists, and CS, while teams will be scored on objectives and wins. You'll be able to sub in players who underperform or make roster changes throughout the season and prove to your friends that you know the game better than they do. The LCS kicked off in Europe my time yesterday, which was May 20th, and the North American LCS follows up really quickly on May 22nd. I can't wait to send players angry tweets when they feed. Now, I know everyone here is no stranger to the free-to-play game genre. After all, it's why most of us love League of Legends so much. Zero cost, zero risk, all reward. With that said though, if you guys want to help support LOL Nation TV, consider trying out World of Tanks. This free-to-play, team-based MMO is action-packed with hundreds of unlockables and hours of content to experience. Just like League of Legends, it's totally free. One thing I can't stand about most free-to-play games is that they are pay-to-win. World of Tanks is not pay-to-win. Everything can be unlocked just by playing the game, which is really great because it keeps us all on the same competitive playing field. World of Tanks is an amazing game with absolutely no risk to try, and if you try the game right now, you can help us continue to make shows like Waypoint possible. To start your free trial and support LOL Nation TV, head on over to gboffer.com/tanks or simply click the link or banner that can be found below this video. Once again, simply trying out World of Tanks helps continue to make this show and channel possible. So if you love the content we do, help support us by heading over to gboffer.com/tanks and trying World of Tanks today. And that does it for this week's episode of Waypoint. Be sure to check back every week for the latest League of Legends news. If you enjoyed this video, please like and comment below to help us reach more people. And if you want more League of Legends content, recaps, and updates, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel, LOL Nation TV. I'm Lindsay Geektron. You can follow me on Twitter at Lindsay Geektron. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys at the next Waypoint.
Game Breaker TV.